Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone who taught us. It's 100% truth according to the spirits to be Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word through the four corners of the earth in truth and sincerity. And peace and blessings to you hopeful believers out there, which are also a part of the elect. To y'all say shalom. And once again, I want to say, call Lord Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Forget about how Rachakwadash, the Holy Spirit, to do the lesson on today. Lord, and feeds your lamb and sheep of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Slack my nose and stuff, Akim. So, I'm going to be talking, but, you're going to hear me take some gasp of air. Got to breathe here and there. But it's this article that I found, it was updated on May 7th, 2025, the hopeful year of our deliverance and the destruction of Esau. And it's titled, because this is the main prophecies that we be going to, Revelation 19 and 10 speaks about the testimony of Yahweh Shai, the spirit of prophecy. So we know that the ones that will be aligned with Yahweh Shai, that will be his disciples, they will constantly go into prophecy. And prophecy trumps everything, because prophecy is pretty much the script of the movie, Isaiah 46. Prophecy is the script of the movie, pretty much, it's things that the Lord has already said and has already written, and there's no other way around it. And it speaks about Isaiah 46, Isaiah 55, that the counsel of the Lord is going to be the final say-so. It trumps everything. So you can't go wrong with prophecy, man, because it trumps everything, man. It's the end-all, be-all. But I wanted to go into this right here. This article is titled Neuralink, which if you don't know what Neuralink is, you should know what it is. Especially if you've been watching Akim videos or whatnot. But, new brothers, new sisters might be listening. Neuralink pretty much is a device that Elon Musk, created to forward the image of the beast. That's what it is, a device they created to forward the image of the beast, which ultimately he was just set up to create it, but the elites have him to creating this device. All going back to the will of the Lord, because pursuant to Revelation 13, Salakia. Revelation 13, what does it talk about? It talks about the image and the mark, that shows your allegiance to that image of the beast, which is this way, the philosophy, the way of this world, which is based upon the ancient pagan Roman Empire. But I want to read this. It says Neuralink implants enables patients to make YouTube videos with generative AI's help. And Salakia too, I ain't have initially no scripture just pulled up, so I'm just going off the spirit. So it says Neuralink implant enables patients to make YouTube videos with generative AI's help, you see. So this the brain C-hip. The brain C-hip, right? And it says it allows a patient to, alongside, coupled with AI, to be able to generate videos on YouTube, And this is a miracle right here. This is the left-hand miracle that this devil's doing. And what I wanted to go to is, as the Lord's woman, don't be beguiled by this shit. This is part of his tactics. The devil, what he likes to do is, which I'm going to get it right quick. The devil likes to crouch. He likes to package things up to look very pleasant to the eye. Of the consumer, specifically Jake, because he wants Jake to consume this. He wants Jake to fall for this gimmick, fall for this trick. Because, it's doing all these things, but the end-all, be-all, people don't know what they're signing up for. Because initially, when they take this device, they're signing up to be a perpetual slave unto this devil, where he has the authority over you as if he's a god. Because that's what he wants. That's why he wants to put the sea hip inside of you. Because he wants to control you, you know. So let me get this point, and I got another scripture. This is, let me see, Sirach, also known as Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 10. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rustles, so is his wickedness. You see? So the enemy, you know what I'm saying, if you're a so-called black or you so-called African American, Native American, Latino, you know, you the Israelites. You're the Lord's chosen people. You're the Lord's chosen people, and our chief enemy, one of our chief enemies, our chief enemy, man, he is the chief, is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. And that's the nigga that's in rulership right now. Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. That's the nigga that's in rulership right now. So he's coming out with a specific type of device he wants to implant people with. And as an Israelite, as the woman of the Lord, you're not to let this man cut into you. Or in other words, you're to cry out if this man's trying to cut into you. And that's the thing that a lot of Jake not doing. They're not crying out to you how much my shot. In other words, they're accepting of it. They're loving it. They love their oppressor. They love their enemy. And that's going to lead to them taking this device. And don't be tricked by this shit, man. Because, you know, I be seeing a lot of these Neuralinks pop up talking about this trial, this trial, that. And you can't trust the devil, bro. This nigga's a liar. He's a deceiver. And that's why it's called a devil, which means deceiver. So it says, never trust thy enemy, for like iron rustles, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. You see? So he's when you allude to Revelation 12, my bad, Revelation, I think Revelation 13. 13 speaks about how, you know, he had two horns like a lamb. You see? Two horns like a lamb, which is talking about it's talking about the Senate. You know how he has pretty much in the Roman Empire they had a Senate, and we're in the revival of the Roman Empire via through the NATO and the EU. It's pretty much they had the Senate, the plebeians, patricians back then in the Roman Empire. Here today, Democrat and Republic, right? And it says it spake as a lamb. What it's coming in that vibration of a savior. You see, so that's how he's trying to present this device unto the masses as a savior, you know, as a solution to a problem. You know, Apostle Kabar goes into it all the time. You know what I'm saying? When you look up the Freemasonry logo, I think under it, if I'm not mistaken, it's under it, it says Order ab Chaos, which means order out of chaos. So the devil's bringing chaos, turmoil, right? Which we know is going to blow up in his face, but he's still going to try to initiate his system, right? So that's what he's trying to do. He's though he go crouching, beware of him. Why? Because this nigga is our enemy. Can't nothing good, like it says in the Proverbs, for as iron rustles, so his wickedness. You see? So it's just continually getting worse. Even in this even in the same verse, I'm gonna read it. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, right? He come in the position of a lamb, like he's trying to help you out. Take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that the rust have not been altogether wiped away. So he might present unto himself, he might present unto you as if he's done, as the scriptures say, even Satan himself has been transfigured into an angel of light. You see? So he might seem as if he's done switched his ways, but he hasn't, because he's our enemy. You see, he ain't switched his ways. He's just deceiving you. You see? He's just deceiving you. And that's what you see with this Neuralink, this article, man. It's talking about this dude could generate stuff. And Jake will see this shit and eat it all up. Oh, shit, man. You know, probably got family members that are paraplegic. Because that's how the devil likes to do. He loves to talk about the paraplegics. He loves to talk about the people that have loss of things. He likes to play on emotion. He likes to pull your strings. You know, he'll talk about paraplegic, and he'll make, you know, he'll make you like the villain for telling a paraplegic, man, don't get this device. Don't get the device. He gonna make you like a villain for tearing a paraplegic that, because they're gonna look at you like, who are you to tell a paraplegic you could see, you could walk, you could do this, you know. So that's what they like to do. He likes to make that's why a lot of these, because think about it. When it comes to these devices, I don't want to be rambling too long either. You know, when it comes to these devices, man, and this technology, this devil he brings it out, right? And because he hasn't even really talked about this the CHIP device in the hand. He hasn't really talked about that as much, but he's always mainstreaming that fucking Neuralink. Why? Why do you think he's always the mainstreaming the Neuralink? Why is it talked about? You know what I'm saying? To go as far as why is one of the biggest guys in society, Elon Musk, why is he the one behind it? Because they know this is part of his crouching process. This is part of his humbling process, because he could care less about these heathens. But he do care about them, you know. He wants, you know, but really, it's a race to who could get this device out first. Because they know that if they could continue to keep Jake under subjection, wickedness, and this is the way they're going to do it. They want to put a device inside of you and make you his possession. He want to put that Neuralink in your head so he can put his law, his statutes, and his commandments inside of your inward parts. You see? This is his artificial birthright that he's trying to achieve. And he wants Jake to take it. But nevertheless, as I was saying, he does all these things. He does his crouching process, man, because he got Neuralink backing it. I mean, he got Elon Musk backing it. Just so what? Just so Jake, not Jake, and he always attacks paraplegics, man. You see? He used that crouching process. But we got to beware. From the scriptures say, read it again, Sirach 12. My bad, Sirach 14. Sirach 14. Yeah, 12, slack. Sirach 12 and 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Right? So we got to beware of this nigga, because he's a devil. He's crafty. He's very crafty. You read about that. It speaks about the serpent in the garden, which we're going to get that. The serpent in the garden. What did it say about the serpent in the garden? Right? It said that he was more cunning than all the beasts of the field. Now, it wasn't literally talking about beast. Oh, shit, you got animals out there. Nah. It's talking about the different nations. But because the nations are likened unto beasts, because they're lawless. Right? So let's read it. It says subtle. My bad, subtle. But that word subtle pretty much goes to cunning. Let's get it, though. Genesis 3 and 1, it says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord thy power has made, and said unto the woman, ye have, the Lord said, ye should not eat of every tree of the garden. Right? But as it said, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. Right? So when you get that word subtle, let's get it. It says the Hebrew for the word subtle is irawum. Irawum. Right? It says subtle, shrewd, crafty. This nigga's crafty. I was thinking it speaks about being cunning. Even if it don't say it right here, we know that the serpent is talking about the sons of the wicked, and it calls Esau a cunning hunter. This nigga's in rulership. the serpent, this nigga is in rulership. You see? This nigga is running the beast system that it speaks about in the scripture. This nigga's running Babylon the Great. Right? Psalm speaks about that. It links up Esau with Babylon the Great. This serpent, he's running this place, right? He's more subtle. He's more shrewd than all the animals of the field. So he's more craftier. He's more deceitful than these other nations could be. And this nigga's in rulership. And as we're seeing a display of his deceitfulness, you know. Because, and the reason I'm in this chapter 2 because, right, when you read this chapter, pretty much what the serpent did, it convinced, right? As a matter of fact, we can read a little bit. Right? It says that, I'm going to read it. I'm reading NLT. It says that the serpent was the shrewdest of all the wild animals the Lord hath made. One day he asked the woman, did God really say, right? The serpent said, did the Lord really say you must not eat from the tree of the, did the Lord really say you must not eat of the fruit from any trees in the garden? It says, of course, in a woman, right? Of course, we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, the woman replied. It's only the fruit from the tree in the middle of the garden that we are not allowed to eat. Our power said you must not eat it, even touch it. If you do, you will die. Right? So what are these trees talking about? It's these trees, right? This tree, the fruit, is going into the philosophies, philosophy, a teaching, right? So the fruit is representation of a teaching. That's what it's talking about. This fruit, this is a parable. Parable is talking about the fruit, right? Now, nevertheless, when you get to it, right? Because when you jump down to verse 6, it says the woman was convinced. She was convinced. She saw that the tree was beautiful and the fruit looked delicious, right? But the key point said the woman was convinced. So it got tricked. She got tricked. Something the serpent told, which we believe through the power and spirit of Yahweh, the serpent showed Eve woman's live. It showed Eve feminism. Showed Eve the Cardi B's. Showed Eve that bullshit. That's what we believe that it talked to Eve about. Right? It said the woman was convinced. She saw the tree was beautiful and the fruit looked delicious. She wanted the wisdom it would give her. Right? See? So she took some of the fruit and ate it. Then she gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it too, which would mean what? She told her husband about this philosophy. Now, it doesn't go into depth like, oh, this is what she said exactly. But, she went on to her husband, Adam, and told Adam about these particular philosophy about, woman power, pretty much. Right? Now, jumping down, right? To 13, and the Lord said unto the woman, what is this? What is thou hast done? And the woman said, it's a serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. Serpent tricked her. And the reason I'm reading is because don't be beguiled by this shit, man. These tricks that this devil's doing, don't be beguiled by it. But ultimately, we know, according to Matthew 24, which I'm going to get, if you are the elect, you won't be beguiled by this shit. Matthew 24:24 says, for there shall arise false Mashiachs and false prophets, which you see happening. You got these false teachers out here. You got false anointeds. You know what I'm saying? That, you got the chief false anointed, which is Esau. He's popping up out here, proclaiming to be a savior. He's gonna save all the world problems with this device, right? And then he's trying to declare, you know what I'm saying? He's using Trump, and Trump is supposed to be a big man. You got the Trump Bible out, In Psalms 50 speaks about who thou to declare thy statutes and commands. You know, so this nigga just going crazy, right? But you see the display of a false Mashiach, a false prophet, and shall show great signs and wonders. You see, so these false Mashiach, these false prophets, they're gonna be performing great signs and wonders, and you see that Esau, being in that category, he's performing great signs and great wonders in the sight of people. It speaks about that in Revelation. Said that he was able to do these miracles in the sight of the beast. If I said it right. As a matter of fact, let me get it real quick. I think it's Revelation 13. All right, let me see. Yeah, Revelation 13 and 13, it says that he doeth great wonders, so that he make a fire coming down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, which is when the atomic bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you know, that was a display of fire coming down from heaven. And you see, you know, these are just imitations of the Lord's miracles. Because when you think about fire coming down from heaven, you think about Elijah, when he called down fire upon those men that was coming after him, that the king sent after him, because he didn't like Elijah, right? And he says, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, they should make an image to the beast, which had a wound but did live. Wound by the sword and did live. You see, so he's doing these miracles on the earth, and certain individuals are going to be deceived, right? And we know, as I'm reading in Matthew 24, going back now, Matthew 24:24, it says, For there shall arise false Mashiachs and false prophets, and show great signs and wonders, and so much that if it were possible, they should deceive the very elect. You see, so he's doing these miracles. He's doing these signs on the left-hand side, imitating the Lord miracles, just like in the days of ancient Pharaoh. You know, but he's doing these things, and what are they doing? They're galvanizing the mind of the people to be on his side. You see, but he does use a tactic of deceit. You know, he used a tech, because that's why I wanted to read. That's why I read the Genesis 3, because the Genesis 3. He told the woman, you should not surely die. You know, he was deceiving her. You see? Because let's go back to it, Genesis 3. He packaged it up to make it sound good. Right, let me find it right quick. Let me see. It says it in here. Then your eyes should be open. Yeah, right. Genesis 3, it says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not. This is Genesis 3 and 40 NLT. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. For the Lord doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. You see? So he didn't lie. He was right about that part, you know. You will learn good and evil. You see? Because at that time, Adam, he didn't know evil. You know, he didn't know evil. And he said he should be as gods. Because in order for you to be a god, you have to have, you know what I'm saying, understanding, or be a power. You have to have an understanding of good and evil. You see? You should be as gods, you know, knowing good and evil. You see? And that evil is what the fucking serpent was telling her. You see? To my, ye should not, but he tricked her though. You should not surely die. No. Because through Adam, since he took heed unto Eve, to her philosophy, death was brought into the earth. You see? As the scriptures speak about. Death was brought into the earth because of that. But we know it began with the serpent deceiving her. You see, the serpent had deceived her and told her what? A lie and the truth. You ain't gonna die, but you should be like a God. You should be like God. You should be like power, because you can understand good and evil. You see, understanding good and evil. So, going back, where was I at? Matthew, yeah. Going back to the math, no, but yeah, and the Matthew, but you see, that's what the devil does, man. This is part of his deceiving tactic. He tells you good, he tells you the truth, but he also has to come with the lie. He comes with a lie. And that's what you see the devil doing. Because all he's just doing, he's telling you the Neuralink, he's telling you this. But he's telling you it's going to do this. It's going to help the paraplegics. We're here to help the paraplegics. Which is true. But then he tells you a lot. We're not going to use it to track people. We're not going to use it for that. We're not, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to do these particular things. We're not going to use it to track people. We're using it to help humanity. You see? He always likes to throw humanity in there. He's using it to help the world. Which this nigga doesn't give a fuck about the world. Because if he did give a fuck about the world, then he would have told the sons of God who they were. Because the sons of God is beginning with Yahweh Shai are the only ones that could fix the fucking shit the devil did to the earth, because he fucked the whole earth up. Right? Isaiah 24. You see? Isaiah 24 and 5. It says the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because thou hast transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. You see? The earth is fucked up. And Proverbs 29 speaks about that. When a wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And when a righteous on authority, the people rejoice. First Maccabees speaks about that. You know what I'm saying? Around the 7th verse. You know, how the generals after Alexander, you know what I'm saying? The generals after Alexander, he had his 4 generals. You know what I'm saying? What happened? They put crowns upon their head. They ruled after him. And wickedness was just pushed forth throughout the earth, which brought forth more evils upon the earth, brought forth more lamenting on the earth because of this nigga's rulership. But here it is, he's coming with a device to solve all problems. Bullshit, man. It's nothing but bullshit. And we can see this through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashma Shai. And don't let this shit trick you, man. This deceitful nigga. But he's subtle, but guess what? His subtlety doesn't work on the son. It's not going to work on the elect of the Lord. It's going to work on the 2/3, but it's not going to work on the elect. You see? This nigga's trying to trick you because the Lord's already set up the prophets to shine light on his shit, right? Let me get that. 2 Thessalonians 2. Right, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come until the coming falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. You see, so before we even receive the salvation, you know what? You know what I'm saying? That day of the Lord returning, of receiving salvation, the steps of the kingdom of heaven is not going to happen until what? We fall away. That's why I want to read that. And the son of perdition be revealed. And we're in those times. We fell away, and the son of perdition has been revealed. That's how we know we're here. But, jumping down, right? Verse 8, it says, and then the wicked shall be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy the brightness of his coming. Right? So what? Who is this talking about? This is talking about the prophets. The Lord set up the prophets. And what are they doing? They're shining light on the devil's bullshit. So you don't got no excuse, man. The Lord got his prophets out here shining light on the bullshit of the devil. That's for this video. Through the power of spirit, he got how much I was shy. He put his spirit upon me to bring out this video about this article going into the Neuralink and the deceitfulness of this devil. How he's using this Neuralink and he's always talking about paraplegics. That's all you see. And then the funny thing is that this is how the devil operates. It's nothing new. He's always operated like this, man. As of lately, he's been a little bit more bold with certain plans and certain things. But the only reason he's doing that because his deceit, Jake kind of seeing it for what it is. But Jake still run down there and still go get the shit. Cause Jake ain't, cause these niggas ain't of the elect. So the Esau still got a grip on their mind. They might know this nigga ain't shit, but Esau still got a grip on their mind on particular things, right? Because even when you read the next verse, it says, even him who's coming is after the working of Satan. Adverse. And that word coming, I think the Greek word is energia. If I'm not mistaken, it's energio. Right? Let me see it. Let's check it. We got time. I'm up pretty early, so. Lucky. I think it's energia. If I said coming, I mean working. Yeah, the word working in the Strong's G is energia, right? It says working efficiency. So he's coming in the efficiency or working. He's coming in the form of Satan, energy of Satan, adverse. Like it says, even him who's coming is after the working of Satan, energia. He's coming what? In the energy of Satan, adverse, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness, Salakia. Let's read in the NLT. It says he will use every kind, Salakia. 2 Thessalonians 2:10, it says, in the NLT, it says that he will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction, because they refuse to love and accept the truth that the world saved them. You see? So these individuals that's going to be deceived by the evil deception, which is going to lead on to destruction, will be the ones that the Lord has refused, pursuing, can't think of it, but my people destroyed for lack of knowledge. Since thou hast rejected me, I reject thee from being a priest unto me. You see? So the ones that have refused Yahweh Bashar Shai, they're going to be caught up in this deception. They're going to be tricked by this devil. They're going to be beguiled. They're going to be beguiled by this devil, his deception. But the Lord has enlightened us, and he's telling. But the thing is that the Lord is telling you niggas too. So no excuse. You can't be like, I didn't know. There's videos going out throughout the four corners of the earth. It's even brothers talk about on the highways and byways all the time, man. What? Goes into the aspect of the fact that this devil's tricking you. Hello? He's tricking you, man, into taking this damn device. And that's why, which we're gonna end it off with this. Right? We end it off with Revelation 13:16. That's why when you read it, that's why John worded it like this. That's why the Lord had John worded this way. It says, and he calleth all, both small and great, rich and poor. I wonder what the word calleth says right here. It says, the Strong's G 4160 poeo, right? So it's poeo, right? And it says to make, right? It says to make, to put forth. Let me see. Let me look through it. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Right, I'm gonna read it right. It says to make one do something. You see? So as you read it, it says, Revelation 13:16, he calleth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So this devil's going to cause, it's the reason why it says call the, because when the elder apostle Ariella went into it, cause and effect, you see. So it's going to be something that's going to cause people to want to take the device, you see. It's going to be made mandatory, but he's going to cause people to take the device. And what's the mechanism of him causing people to take the device? His deceit. That's one mechanism he uses. He uses the mechanism of deceit because he's a damn devil. That we just read it. He's bringing the device, and he pinnacles. Because that's what he did with the fucking Ice Baby, right? When he came up with the Ice Baby, he brought it out in a sense of, oh, we need to get these fucking illegals out of here. But why the fuck has it went from illegals to now the Native Americans? But I thought initially you were supposed to use the Ice Baby to get the illegals. But it's easily transitioned to now the Native Americans. But ain't nobody really talking about it. That's what the devil's doing. That's what he's doing with the damn C-hip. He's using it there. He's coming out with the Neuralink. And he's going to the aspect of what? Paraplegics. But it's soon going to transition over to just regular people. Non-paraplegics. And then they're going to have a different, they have the other version of it. Not other version, the same device, but they have a different one as far as it goes into your hand. The micro C-hip into the hand. You see? And he's already conditioned people, man. They already fucking used to a microwave thing. So he's just going to give he's just going to top it off with a microwave device. You see? He's going to top it off with a microwave device. Right? Because you're already ready to take it. When you read the Proverbs, it speaks about how those that don't worship the beast should be killed. And when you get that word killed, it means to be taken apart from a whole. So in other words, if you don't take the device, also you won't be able to engage in a society. So he's like, if you don't take it, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, but you ain't going to be able to do X, Y, and Z. And don't nobody, in this day and age, man, one of the curses say, we should go to our enemy, the want of all things. Jake is hooked on going to Esau and the want of all things. So he ain't got no choice but to take it. But it's going to cause him to. He's going to be put in a tight situation where, damn, I ain't got no choice. You do got a choice. You got a choice to turn to Yahweh Bashem Shai. You do got a choice. You see? As a matter of fact, I'm going to finish it out. Right? Well, no, that was it. So as a matter of fact, you do got a choice. I'm going to end it off with this one, man. Joshua, I think it's Joshua 24. Is it Joshua 24 or 25? Let me see. Well, this is it. This is Joshua. I'm in there for this one. I know Joshua said for me in my house. Yeah. Oh, this is it. It's like this is Joshua 24. We're getting down for this. It's Joshua 24 and 15. It says, and if it seem evil, right? Start at verse 14. It says, now therefore fear the Lord Yahweh and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve ye the Lord Yahweh. If it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord Yahweh, which we know that only the Israelites could do that, because only the Israelites is the nation that was brought out of the land of Egypt. And countless other scriptures going to that. But it says, if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord Yahweh, choose ye this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord Yahweh. You see? So as this devil's trying to cause motherfuckers to take the C hip and make you feel like I ain't had no choice. Nah, you do got a choice, man. You have a choice to serve Yahweh Bashmal Shai, or you can serve them idols that you can serve them idols that are our ancient forefathers. You know what I'm saying? Your ancient, if you serve them idols, your ancient wicked forefathers. But you can serve them idols that our people served back then that are just led on to destruction. Because that's all the devil's doing is erecting his idol today. You see? Erecting his idol today. So that'll be it, man. Lord willing, this is edifying. I ain't read too much on the article because I kind of lost. I think I just lost it. But don't let the devil beguile you, man. Walk in the spirit, not in the flesh. If you walk in the spirit, you ain't gonna be tricked, man. If you walk in this flesh, the devil gonna get your ass. But it's all according to predestination. As I read in Matthew 24, the elect is already promised. They've already been written that they will overcome this beast. So that means not taking a C hip. And they'll be some will be martyrs, but they're gonna be preserved. So Lord, this edifying to the parents for the Yahweh Bashma Shai. Gonna end up saying call hello Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Chagwadash. I want to give them honor to the apostles and the elders, great millstones. So y'all, I'm gonna say shalom.